Hey y'all, it's your girl Shalakemia with Let's Chat It Up. So I had to move over to this page because on my public figure page, it's not letting me add my special guest. So, God willing, it lets me add my special guest over here and we are able to get this interview popping. I have Michael Dubose tonight. He is facing 25 years to life in jail. We want to spread the awareness about his story because there are a lot of people sitting in jail for something they did not do, or sitting in jail because their case wasn't handled correctly. So we are going to oh my gosh, all of y'all. I was just live on my public figure page trying to get Michael on here with his interview and it didn't work. So I said I had to come over here to try to get it to work. So maybe I should go live on this page versus going live over there. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Yes, Michael, I need you to join us. I'm live. So please send a request. Hey Von Corinne, thank you so much for staying with us and through all the technical difficulties and stuff. I had so many technical difficulties. I'm live on my personal page. Okay, here goes Michael now. So hopefully, hey everybody tuned in. So hopefully we can get Michael in here and get this interview started. I'm so excited about this. I thank God for this. You know, Michael could have interviewed with anybody about his story, and he chose to interview with me first, and then go to other media outlets and things like that. So I pray that this works. I pray this works. You're in. Yes, all the
There you
leads
go.
are here. Oh my gosh! It was like
I don't
forever trying to get you on. It
you know,
wasn't your
it's
fault
weird
though. It wasn't your
when
fault.
you're about to do your chat, you gotta hold it up and down first, then turn it. Then it tells you to turn it. Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
I don't
Yay!
even know.
Catherine's like,
How's everybody doing?
yay! Yes. Thank you everybody who is tuned in. This is my special guest tonight. Oh, Miss
Hello,
Maria Henry, she
everybody.
says she's praying for you.
Thank you
This
so
is
much. I
my
appreciate it.
special guest, Michael. Michael, tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from originally from Gardena, California, which is like 3 minutes away from LA. Basically, it is LA County still. Currently, right now, I reside in Inglewood, California.
Inglewood. Okay, I think we're all familiar with Inglewood. And so I wanna just jump right into
Okay.
I just wanna jump right in.
Okay.
When we first spoke and you told me your story, I
Hmm.
was just like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things like this are still happening. So I just kind of want you to, you know, tell our viewers, how did it come about that you're facing
Mhm.
25 years to life? Like walk us briefly through, what
Mhm.
happened.
Well, it's basically I can get up to it because if I ever basically do anything else in my life, which I've never had a record prior to this, never been arrested. I'm not a gang member. Like I think I've told you before, I've never even smoked or drank before in my life. I grew up in group homes, but I always on a straight and narrow path. So basically, my son's mother was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant. We went to her house so she can get ready for work, so I can head out to work. Um, she got into an altercation with her brother. Now, her mother is on drugs still to this day, and she's kind of like she's the big sister, so she's like the mother. And I think that's a problem with a lot of our youth or a lot of adults. Were left to be the mother, and they didn't even have time to even grow up. So basically, she was in charge of her brother and her sister, which are twins. they're 21 years old now, but at that time they were 19.
Okay.
And so basically they were sharing a room, and she told him to clean up his side of the room. And they always gotten into it about this. Even when I went over there several times, they would always argue about cleaning the side of the room, blah blah blah. So this time it got heated between them. So as you know, they're going back and forth, arguing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my son's mother is backing up, and she knocks his Xbox off of the dresser. His Xbox falls down. It gets serious. You know, they both start pushing each other.
Right.
And at this moment, I'm sitting on the couch. I get up to get in between both of them to, stop from going back at each other. So the last time when he pushed her,
Right.
she hit her stomach on the side of the dresser. So even when that happened, I still didn't do anything. I didn't
So
retaliate
let
against
me
him.
stop you 1 second. Let me
Okay.
stop you 1 second. So when she's pregnant,
Yes.
how at this time, how far along?
She was 7 months pregnant.
7 months pregnant. So when he pushed her and her stomach hit the dresser, did he say, I apologize, I'm sorry? Like, oh sis, are you okay?
No.
Okay.
No. He continued to be combative and go back and forth and didn't even had a care in the world.
Okay.
And any man's first instinct would be to attack this person. That still was not my first instinct because, like I said prior, I never had an issue with this guy. Me and him were cool.
Right.
So when he did that, I got them broke apart again. So when I broke them apart, he went to her dresser and started throwing her bottles of perfume at her feet on purpose. I guess because since his stuff got knocked down, he wanted to get something to hers and just go back and forth and break something to hers.
Right.
So he's throwing perfume bottles on the ground, and glass ends up getting in her feet because she's barefoot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, get them separated. I told her to go in the bathroom. I told him to stay in the room. Finally got them apart. They're still jawing at each other while she's in the bathroom, while he's in the room. So
Mm-hmm.
finally he comes out the room, and I went to the bathroom door, and he tells her, if you come out of the bathroom, I'm going to knock you out. He's going to hit her, basically. That's
Hold
when
on. Hold
I...
on.
Mhm.
Hold on, Michael. Her brother tells her he's going to knock her out, knowing that she's pregnant.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
I mean, to be honest, that makes me feel like it's something mentally wrong with the brother because this is your sister, and why would you want to hurt or harm your sister? I mean, period.
Yeah.
But to put on top of that, she's pregnant.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So that's when I step in. Like I said, like I was telling you before, I grew up in the foster care system. So I grew up mostly in group homes with five other guys and myself. So that's when that other side of me clicked in. I told him, what makes you think I'm going to sit here and let you do that? So then he turns to me and is telling me that don't talk to me, don't say nothing to me. And then me and him start, like, kind of talking, going back and forth. And then he makes a motion like he's going to lunge forward to hit her while I'm standing in the doorway. Like I'm in the middle still of them. So he kind of like reaches over like he's going to hit her. And that's when I hit him one time in his mouth. Hit him one time. And I only needed to hit him one time because, like I said, I told you before, I used to be a boxer. So we're always taught, when you see someone does not want to fight, you stop.
Right.
So once I disarmed him and I seen he was like shocked, like, oh shoot, that was all I needed to do. I didn't go in for overkill and keep punching him and going crazy. I didn't need to do that because I
Right.
seen that was enough.
So okay, because see, okay, so how I'm understanding, this wasn't a situation to where like you were beating on him or anything. You hit him
No.
one time, like, go ahead,
Yes.
like stop. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yes.
not going to sit here up here and allow you to, hit the child, of my mother, and she's pregnant right now.
Yes.
So I get that though. I get that because
Mm-hmm.
if I was her, I would definitely, want my child's father to defend me. It wouldn't matter who it is, and a lot of people. I put this question out there last week, and a lot of people agreed. Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to defend, the child of my mother. I mean, the mother of my
Right.
child. I'm sorry, the mother of my child. Yes, I'm going to defend her. Nobody's going to do
Right.
anything to her. I don't care if it's family or
Mm-hmm.
not. But I think that's just like you weren't, you didn't like beat him down, even though you said you have a background in boxing. You didn't beat him down.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't, anything
Right.
like that. You just kind of defended her. So okay,
Yeah.
after you hit him, what happened then?
So when I hit him, he went to go grab a towel to cover up his mouth. Now, at this time, I don't know the damage was done to him at this
Right.
time. I just thought it
But
was a
who? I
clean
mean, at
hit.
this point, who? To be honest with you, like at this point, who even cares because you asked for that? Do you really think that
Exactly.
any man was going to sit up there and allow you to assault the mother of their unborn child? Nobody was going to allow
Yeah.
anybody to do that. I feel like, and this
Yeah.
is just my opinion, and I want everybody to chime in that's watching. Like, what do y'all think? Like, what the women like? Would you have want to be defended? And to the men, would you had, defended the mother of your unborn child? Because I feel like he signed
Hmm.
up for that though. I feel like he signed up for it. So whatever damage he had, that was on him. But go
Yeah.
ahead. What happened, after that?
Well, I want to note one thing too. The insult to injury was when I hit him, her other sister that was there called her dad. And you would think anybody hearing something happen to their daughter, they would be upset as a man, as a father. The
Right.
father was more concerned about me hitting him. You would think he would check the son and say, "Why
Right.
did you put your hand on your sister?
Right.
Why did you do this?" He was worried about me, telling me, "Oh, I bet you won't do it to me." And by then, that time, me and my son's mother had to leave because I had to take her to the hospital because she had like glass shards in her feet. And of course, we had to get her stomach checked out because she was seven
Right.
months. My son was born 2 months after that, of course. And so as we're heading to the hospital, I we see cop cars swarming past us like really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, why would the cops be coming that fast? Because
Right.
first off, we're in Compton. Second of all, I know they only come that fast usually when it's like a murder, a
Right.
weapon's been drawn, something like that. They're
Right.
swarming that way. Still not thinking anything of it. We got to the hospital. They checked her stomach out. My son was fine. They had to numb her feet to remove the glass shards that were lodged in her feet. And that after that, that was kind of the end of it. I heard at the place I was at the time that him, his father, and his sister came to my house looking for me, but I wasn't there because we were still at the emergency room for hours. So some time had passed after that, and I ended up moving from the place I was at. But at the time, I was talking to the detective because on who's involved with the case because she was asking me questions. I wasn't ducking or dodging. I told her the exact same thing I'm telling you now, and
Right.
basically she was like, "Well, are you still around? Are you still around this area? Are you still seeing them?" I told them, "No, I'm not. I'm minding my own business. I was only protecting her." And she went along, told the same thing, and she also filed a report against him,
Okay.
which was nothing was done
So
about that at
so
all.
let me ask you something. Okay, so when did this happen? Tell me approximately when this happened.
This happened in January 22nd of 2016. So
Oh,
basically 2 years ago. Hmm.
okay, so you went to the hospital, y'all got her checked out, she was
Hmm.
fine. Um, the detectives got a statement from y'all, obviously,
Hmm.
about the events that occurred.
Hmm.
I am kind of puzzled about why the family wasn't concerned that the brother had did that to the sister. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I had a situation where my
Hmm.
oldest son loved to sneak out the
Hmm.
house. And this one particular time, he snuck out the house and went to his girlfriend's house and got caught. And they got caught.
Mm.
And the grandfather punched my son in the face. So my
Wow.
son, I know I'm in trouble, but this man shouldn't have punched me in my face. So, me being the mom I am, I said, listen, I don't care about him punching you in your face. I said he couldn't have
Right.
punched you in your face if you wasn't in his home, honey. I don't care about that. I'm not calling no cops on this man or nothing. You was wrong. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have been at his house in his granddaughter's bed. Period. Point blank. Bottom line. And
Absolutely.
that's what kind of person I am. How can I ever sit up and
Mhm.
be mad at them people? My son was
Right.
wrong. My son played a
Right.
part in that. But I wish in your situation that her family would have looked at it like that. First of all, I feel like her brother needs some kind of help. Because why does your mental make you feel like you can attack your pregnant sister?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah. I just, it shocked me because like his other sisters, like, and the mom, everybody was just on me because, well, he had braces in his mouth, and when I hit him, I broke his two front teeth and it fractured his whole jaw.
So when did you
Like
find
I
that out?
said,
When
and
did you find out that you broke his two front teeth and you fractured his jaw? When?
well, I knew I broke his two front teeth after the fact, a couple of days after it happened. I didn't know
Okay.
the jaw was fractured and he had to have surgery on it. I had no idea. I just thank God that my hands are not registered anymore because if my hands were registered, I would have really been in big trouble.
Right.
So I'm happy that my hands are not registered anymore. But
But what do you? I mean,
yeah, so the
with your hands being registered, like my thing is like it's like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like what were even if your hands were registered, what were you supposed to do? Were you supposed to allow him to go ahead and punch her in her face?
the first judge told me it was a family dispute. You should not have done anything. Now, mind you, I was in custody when he told me that, so it's not like I could have said anything to the judge. But the first judge told me that. That's what he told me. He said I should not have done anything about it. So, but
Crazy.
I was thinking in my head, if this was your wife, your daughter, your mother, are you going to sit there and not do anything?
Right.
What kind of man are you?
Right.
It's like I was damned if I was damned if I don't, and it was just a real unfortunate situation. So after, I talked to the DA and everything, and I thought everything was over with. My son's mother thought everything was over with. Um, in order for her brother to get his mouth fixed, they had to take me to court. So his grandmother told my son's mother, "Hey, can you give Mike these papers so we can summons him to court?" She told her no. Told her grandmother no. She
Hmm.
said, "If you want him to go to court, you give it to him." He was protecting me from her brother name is Marquise. He was protecting me from him, you
Right.
know, and I never got summoned. So again, we thought everything was over with. So the place I used to live at, the and this is in 2016, late 2016 at this time. The guy told me like, "Hey, some cops came, real deep with guns drawn, looking for you here." And I'm just like, that's, it kind of threw me off. I said, "Did they leave a card? Did they say why they came or anything?" He said no. So at this time, I'm kind of confused because I'm thinking this whole situation is over and done with. I
With
haven't heard anything.
with guns drawn though? Did
Yeah.
someone get killed?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Go
Nope.
ahead.
Yeah. So they had guns drawn, looking through the house, looking for me. And I said, "They leave a card?" They said, "Why?" He said, "No." So I was at work at this time. I told my
Hmm.
son's mother, "Can she go down to the police station and see why are they looking for me?"
Right.
So she went down there and said, "Were they looking for me? Was I wanted or anything?" They said, "No, I wasn't." So I think no more about it because they said no. I mean, if you go down to the police station and they say they're not looking for you, then hey, they're not looking for you.
Right.
So August 3rd of last year, about 6:20 in the morning,
Okay, so hold
I
on. Let
hear a
me let
huge
me stop you 1 second. The incident
mhm.
happened, you said January 2017.
No, 2016, January
2016.
22nd. Yes,
Okay, 2016. And
hmm
y'all talked to the detectives, nothing.
yes, nothing.
Someone went down to the police station and asked them were they looking for you. They say no. What
Yes.
time period are we at now? Like, what month are we in now?
We're in about June of well, when they came to the other house I lived at, or when they came and looked for me the second time.
When they're looking for you the second time, what time? What month are we in?
This is August 3rd of 2017.
Of 2017. But
Yeah.
this incident happened in 2016.
Yes.
Okay, so all
That's
this
why I thought
time.
the incident was over.
Okay, so now, I mean, you're going about your life. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever, being a dad, going to work,
Yeah.
doing your thing or
Yeah.
whatever. In August 2017, what happens?
So August 3rd, I get a huge bang at my door.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so loud, it was pretty scary. And I didn't know what to expect or what was it. So
Right.
I usually leave my wooden door open so I can get fresh air in my house. And I keep hearing the bang, bang, bang. It's a huge bang. And as I'm walking
Mm-hmm.
to the door, I'm skeptical because I'm just like, usually somebody come knocking like that either after you or it's just not a good situation. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, what's going on? I'm not thinking I did anything. It was just
Right.
creepy. So as I'm like making my way to the door, I see an officer push his face against the screen door and say, "Open the door right now."
Mm-hmm.
So when I go over to open the door, I see just like the guy told me, guns drawn, assault rifles, shotguns drawn, pointing at me, telling me to open the door. I opened the door. They asked, "Was I Michael Dubois?" I said yes, and they said I'm under arrest for terrorist threats. So when I heard that, I'm like, what did I say? What did I do? I've never said
Right.
anything. I haven't been in any incidents with anybody. So why would I be arrested for terrorist threats? So they handcuff me and say, we'll tell you more when you get down to the police station. So they take me down to the police station.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they weren't telling me anything. These were like bounty hunters. They really didn't know. They just knew to find me, bring me down there. And it was just crazy when I walked outside of the gate when I was handcuffed. They had both of my streets blocked off with
Mm-hmm.
cop cars, so nobody can enter in, nobody can enter out. Basically, like a fugitive.
Well, hold on,
That's how they
Michael.
treated me.
I'm with the street blocked off and guns are drawn. I'm thinking you
Yeah,
murdered somebody. Did you murder
yeah,
somebody? That's what
absolutely
I'm. I mean,
not.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what you would think. It was something out of a movie, and it was really creepy. They treated me like I was a fugitive, like I'm on the run or whatever. But I had no idea they were looking for me because I checked in with everybody and everything. They said everything was fine.
Right.
So get down to the police station. When they're doing my fingerprints, I asked the woman, I said, "Excuse me, I still don't know why I'm here. What am I here for?" So she's looking at the paper and says, "I see you're here. You're wanted here for terrorist threats, for felony terrorist threats, and for felony GBI, which means great bodily injury, someone's mouth." So when I heard that, I was like, okay, I know I hit her brother like a year ago, but what are these terrorist threats for? She said she didn't know. I had to wait till I went to court to really find in detail about the terrorist threats.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my son's mother, let her know what was happening. Um, Stayed in jail that night. Went to court the next day for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and I find out what the DA told me. He said that the brother and sister that was there claimed that I pulled out a knife and said I'm going to kill everybody in the house
Stop.
after I hit him.
Stop. Stop. You pulled out a knife and you said you was gonna kill everybody in the house. Well, okay, so let's backtrack. Who was all in the house when this whole incident was going on? Because I'm curious to know who was all in the house.
Okay. So it was me, my son's mother, her brother, her brother's sister. What they have a twin. The brother it has a twin, and it's his other sister. So it was her. It was her daughter who was like 2 years old, and her baby's father
Mm-hmm.
was in the house as well. So
So if
my
you
thing is when I
so if you pulled out a knife and said you were gonna kill a knife though, you were gonna
yeah,
kill everybody in the house. The other sister's baby's dad ain't say nothing or get involved.
okay, we cannot find him. We don't know where he is. I know he was having issues with the sister because she is mentally ill. She has been to the mental hospital before.
Mm-hmm.
So we have not heard from him. We cannot find him. He has had issues with her. He has gotten locked up behind her before. Now, mind you, these are twins. You know, twins are basically the same in the mind. You know, basically they think alike. They have so for her
Right.
to get him locked up for lying, saying that he hit her and all that, just kind of weird. So um,
So
when I heard
it's like a
that
pattern. It's like a pattern of,
their family,
you know,
and I told my son's mother this. I said, your family, for some reason, I think, and I believe in family curses. I do. I said, your family with the women in your family, there's a pattern here. From her mom, from her grandmother, like I kind of know the backstory between all of them,
mhm.
and there's a pattern with the women in your family. I'm like, it's not a good pattern. Either everybody's either on drugs or send someone to jail for something that's not right.
There seems like there's no morals, or there's no values, because
Uh-huh.
why didn't somebody come forward and, and check them and say, why are y'all lying? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
me as a mom, I'm never gonna let my kids do that. Never.
right.
Never. I'm gonna check my kids, and they already know I do it. And I let them know when they're wrong. I let them know when they're wrong.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
it's like nobody said anything. Nobody said, hey, like, why did y'all lie? He didn't do that. You gonna tell the truth. But I want you to tell everybody, um, the part you shared with me when you said that your kids' mom confronted them when she confronted the brother and the sister.
Yes. Yeah, so she confronted them and said, did you say that Michael pulled out a knife and said he's going to kill everybody? The brother said, I never said he pulled out a knife. I just heard him say he's going to kill everybody, which still makes no sense because I don't have a problem with everybody. So why would I want to kill everybody in the house? And why would I
Right.
do that after I hit him? It just makes no sense. And you would think that anybody who hears it, would be like, that makes no sense. So my son's mother was going to, testify for me on my behalf in court because it wasn't
But
true.
go back a little bit to the part where you had, when we initially interviewed, and you shared with me what her brother wanted to drop the charges.
Okay, so initially her brother dropped everything. The DA picked it up. But he told her, if you don't want me to come to court, give me $100 and I will not show up. Now, I didn't know that she didn't want to tell me this because I would have told her absolutely not. So she didn't end up giving him the money, but he didn't show up. But since the DA picked it up, it's kind of like it doesn't matter what he says. They're going to run with whatever the report says.
Hmm.
Unless I took it to trial, then they'll bring him in because they wanted to speak to him.
Right. So
So, mhm,
my problem. This is my problem. My problem is people lying to get people put in jail. That's definitely
yeah,
my issue. The other issue is terroristic threats. So that means someone was afraid for their life, because
yes,
Michael supposedly had a knife. So they're afraid.
mhm,
He got to be put
yes,
in jail because we are over here afraid for our life. But no, give me $100 and I won't go to court.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is the evil
And I
stuff
know
I'm
that
talking
came
about,
from
though.
their mother because, like I said, their mother is the drug addict, and she's always
Hmm.
looking for money. And I just people seen when I've been around them and seen how the mother acts and certain things she does, and I know that came from her. I know it did, and
Hmm.
it's sad what it is. And so basically, after I went to court, I got bailed out. I got bailed out 4 days later, and
Uh-huh.
I
Who
went to
bailed
my
you out?
second.
Who bailed you out?
My son's mother did.
She bailed you out.
So yeah. So I went to my second court date, and the public defender I had at the time came out and said, "Look, this is what they're offering you. They're offering you 5 years in prison." And it like my heart dropped to the ground because I was like, I've never been arrested before. I've never been in trouble before. Why are they offering me 5 years? So I told her,
Right.
um, she said basically the two charges are very serious, and they hold more than that. They hold about 8 years in prison. And I told her, absolutely not. I'm not taking that deal. I'll hire a lawyer. So that's what I did. I hired a lawyer, and the lawyer was
Hmm.
he was subpar. I mean, he wasn't the best. I don't think he fought more like he could have, and he did not make me feel confident at all. But my money was already tied up into this guy, so it's just like I had to keep running with it. So
Right.
and I hired the lawyer. The lawyer said, "I'm going to talk to the DA office and see if I can get you released probation or something like that." I said, "No problem." I heard from my lawyer a couple
Right.
days later. He told me, okay, I talked to the district attorney's office, and they said they will take it down to 3 years and one misdemeanor. I told him again, absolutely not. I wasn't going to do any time for protecting a pregnant woman. And I was just telling him, how can someone's words be believable? If that's the case, I can go down to the police station right now and say, you pulled out a gun on me and said you're going to kill me. Are they really going to believe that? And I really think
Right.
that they really pushed it and believed it because a woman called and did it. It's a double standard, I believe. When a man does something, it's looked at as even worse or demonized for it. When a woman does it, it's kind of like, it's not looked at so much as a bad, so bad, but it's bad. So I think since the
I
sister
agree.
called, and said that that's what happened. So that explained why, when we were leaving, why the cops were coming so fast. Because I was thinking in my head, why are they showing up so quick? Because she lied and said that I pulled
Mhm.
out a knife and said I'm going to kill everybody. So that was reason for them to, you know, speed over there.
Right. And Christopher said that's a very double standard. I really feel like that is. I really
Yeah,
feel like you know, the awareness about things like this, domestic violence and rape,
hmm
it seems like in this world it's taken more serious when it happens to a woman. But I don't
yes,
think the world really acknowledged that men have been raped too. That there are men in domestic violence situations too. I think
absolutely.
it's so hidden. It's so hidden, but it's like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, this woman has been in a domestic violence situation. She's a victim. She's a victim. Oh my gosh. But what about our men? Our men are victims as well. And we're sitting here
yeah,
talking with Michael, and Michael is a victim of injustice. That there's so many people sitting in jail right now that are in jail for something
yeah,
they did not do, or in his situation, protecting someone else. And like I spoke to Michael when we initially spoke, and I said, I feel like in the criminal justice system that cases are pushed through too much. Special
yeah,
attention, isn't really paid to cases. Like if someone would have paid special attention to this case, I don't think that he would be
yeah,
going through what he's going through right now. But the system is they're so overloaded with cases and things like that. And you see what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's like with anywhere. People are rushing through. You cannot rush through when it comes to someone's life. You cannot do
yeah,
that. And I went live the other night and I said, if I was a judge, I don't know, I would really be one of those judges like, well, hold up, asking my own questions, because this is someone's
right.
life in our hands, and we have to make sure that
hmm
we are not putting people in prison that don't belong there. That's why you see so many
Yeah,
people that are proven innocent after they have spent 20 years of their life
yeah,
in jail.
yeah.
Why does this
And they
keep
give them a couple hundred
happening?
bucks.
And it keeps happening to our black men. Our black men, and
Yeah.
I'm not being smart by saying that it doesn't happen to another race, but I'm sure the
hmm
percentage of it happening to our black men is higher. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Um, okay, I know we talked, and I want to kind of go into you. you said you didn't feel confident with the lawyer that you hired, but it was a situation
Yes.
like, okay, I'm already in it because I put
Yeah.
my money into them. So
Right.
tell the viewers about what you were telling me about when you were preparing to go to court and you were preparing to pick a trial. I mean, pick your juries
Okay.
for your trial.
Okay. So after I turned down every deal they had for me, the only other thing was to take my whole case to trial.
Right.
So I was my lawyer kept reminding me, if we lose in trial, they can throw the maximum time at you,
Mhm.
which is 8 years in prison. Now, at this time, I'm not hearing anything about strikes or anything like that. So, um, he was like, do you still, it's something you still would like to do? I said, absolutely. I was sticking to my guns because I
Right.
know I didn't, you know, uh, commit a crime. I mean, of course, we know I assaulted the man, but why? I was protecting my unborn child. So, I told him, yeah, let's take it to trial. So, when I got there to court, my lawyer got there. The judge said, I want to talk to your lawyer and talk to the DA one last time to see if we can try to come to an understanding or an agreement. Because my lawyer had tried to fight to get everything erased, but the judge wasn't having it because of her brother's mouth being like broken in half, basically.
Right.
He wasn't having it. So they go back there. They talk about 15 minutes. They come out. My lawyer tells me the judge wants to speak with us. And I said, okay. So the judge calls the case back in and says, he's like, you keep throwing every, deal out. I don't know if I should even offer you the probationary time because probationary time, people who don't know, is probation gives a set time for crimes. So,
Mhm.
of course, like the recommended time for something I did, they recommended was 1 year in jail. So, he was like, I don't know if I should even offer it to you because you keep turning down everything, and it seems like you want to go to trial. So he said, I'm gonna give you 30 minutes to think about it. He said, 1 year in jail, two felonies, two strikes, 100 hours of community service, and 26 sessions of anger management. He said, if you take this to trial, the least amount of time you face if you lose for the terrorist threats is 3 years in prison. That still would have got the two strikes and two felonies, and of course the community service and everything. He said the maximum amount of time, if they just would have got me for assaulting him, they would have found me guilty for that, was 6 years. If I would have lost the whole thing, it would have been 8 years and 8 months in prison. So he said, I'm gonna give you 30 minutes to go think about it, and the 1 year time would be served in county jail, which counts as 2 days per one day. So every day counts as 2 days in county jail. So he
Mhm.
said, I'll let you go outside and think about it. So I went outside, thought about it, and first thing I thought about were my kids. You know, me having the least amount of time for my
Right.
kids would be the best because I felt confident at first about trial because I had my son's mother there to testify, but it's us two versus them two, and they're not looking at they weren't getting the point that I was protecting a pregnant woman. They were just looking at his mouth, and I'm just like, they're not listening, So I said it's
Mhm.
too risky for me to take it to trial and probably get 3 years. So went back in and I told the lawyer I will take the deal. And I did it for my children. So the 1 year turns into 6 months because it's half. But it could be less than that because LA County Jail, if anybody knows, is one of the most overpopulated jails out here. So I might do 3 to 4 months, maybe. Who knows? It could be sooner than that I can get out. Who knows? It just depends on how populated it is. But I know they said for violent crimes, they usually make you serve 30 to 40%. So I go back in there. I told the judge I'll take the deal, and he explained everything to me. He said, "Now, when you take this deal, you will have two strikes. If you basically do anything else, you can get 3 strikes and get 25 years to life. And he said, I need you to
So let me
understand
let me
that.
stop you right there. So my I don't understand the situation, period.
Hmm.
But my thing is, on top of that, then you got to get 2 strikes. And if you do something else,
Yeah,
I mean, God forbid you haven't ever been in any trouble. But
yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's a setup. And I'm being
it is.
honest, I feel like that is a setup on our men. Why do they want
Yeah,
our
it is.
men locked up and locked away? And I mean, come on, I could see, I could see if, I could see if you had a record, a lengthy record, and
Right.
you had terroristic threats before and assaults and
Yeah,
stuff like that, but you had nothing. You
yeah,
had nothing.
nothing.
And it seemed like they just wanted to get
Yeah.
done
And
with your
my hands weren't
case.
registered.
And like
Yeah.
someone said earlier, about the young man Khalid Browder in New York, how
Yeah.
he sat in Rikers all that time and they kept on trying to give him deals saying, "Oh, you take this deal, you could go home today." It's
Hmm.
like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So
I'm a
people have
firm
to sit up
believer.
here and be tortured
Hmm.
and then given a
Yeah.
deal to something they didn't even do
Yeah.
in order to go home. It's like, why though? Why?
Yeah.
It's dead. It's wrong. And
Yeah.
how I don't understand how the judge, the DA, and your attorney can sleep at night. I wouldn't even be able to sleep with something like that on my heart. Like, this man didn't
Yeah.
even do it.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's funny. I don't know if y'all heard about the other day. It was a judge. I don't know where he was from, but the judge was overseeing a case. And
Hmm.
in the middle of trial, y'all, the judge just said, "God told me this man didn't do it." And I
Mm.
said, "Well, honey, what?" The judge said, "God told me this man is innocent." He had to
Mm.
then recuse himself off the case. But it's like,
Right.
wow. It's like, come on, God. Yeah. Come on. I know
Yeah.
God is doing a new thing, and like I told you before, you will get through this. You will get through
Yeah.
this. You will. The whole
Absolutely.
time, I've been interviewing you. You have been in good spirits. And I have been
Hmm.
shocked because I'm like, wow, I would be a wreck. I would be
Yeah.
a total wreck. But I want you to explain to everybody what you said. You took the deal because
Hmm.
basically you didn't want to gamble. We're going to trial, and I
Yeah.
mean, it was like they basically was like, listen, this is the good deal because if you take it to trial,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to call it like blackmail, but it's like
Yeah.
take the deal because if you go to trial and lose, this is what you facing.
Yeah.
Like,
And plus,
dang.
I had my 2 kids. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. I have a 4-year-old. My son will be 2, March 22nd.
Hmm.
And they played a big factor as well. Because I said 3 years at least, the least, that's a long time. 8 years is definitely,
Too long.
I'll be almost old, and I'm just
Right.
like, I couldn't do that. So they were definitely a big key factor. Now, do
Right.
I think if I had kids, would I do it the same way? Probably not. But
Right.
then again, if I had kids, I wouldn't be in a situation where with my daughter, my son's mother. So that was a key factor for me. It's bad enough I'm going to more than likely miss my son's second birthday, and
Right.
they played a big factor in me taking that. But the worst part of me taking that deal was I had to sit there and admit to pulling out the knife and saying I'm going to kill everybody. That was part of the deal because if you're taking the deal, you're obviously pleading guilty for something. So it made me think how many innocent people have taken deals for stuff they didn't do.
Right.
So I know I was assaulting him, of course, but I never pulled out a knife and said I was going to kill him. And I think the judge knew that because the deal he gave me went against the DA, and the DA was really upset because the DA wanted to get me the maximum time, or at least the 3 years that they talked about. So the DA was furious, and you can just tell by his demeanor. So the judge says, usually, basically before he, gave me the deal, usually I don't go against what the DA says. I just let people take it to trial. He said, but I'm just letting you know this is a lot of time you could be possibly facing. So I felt the judge knew this wasn't right for him
Right.
to, go against that. And that's why he did that to me. He was like, you seem like a very well put together man. You don't have a record. You're 29 years old. I don't see you getting into any more trouble. But that wasn't the point to me. The point was, if I go to jail and somebody wants to try something crazy with me, if I defend myself and get the better of this man, or just defend myself, period. If he gets the better of me, they're gonna look at my record and be like, "Oh well, you have a violent history." They can give me 3 strikes while I'm in there. You
It's
know,
like it's like, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. And like I expressed to you when, I was interviewing you before this, you're definitely going to be, in my prayers. You know,
I appreciate that.
and let everybody, know. I want to talk to the people that just tuned in, that we're sitting here and we're talking to Michael about his situation. Um Facing 25 years to life for protecting the mother of his unborn child. That's what we're talking about right now. Please invite people to the live. Please share this live. We need to definitely speak out about this injustice. How many other people have experienced this? How many other people are
Right.
going to experience this? We have to speak
Yeah.
up, and we have to have a voice. We have to.
Hmm.
And like I told Michael when I was interviewing him, I said, when you get out, you have to, it's your purpose to speak out and to help people in this very situation. In this very
Yeah.
situation. Michael, um, share with people, um, when you have to turn yourself in.
Um. Okay. So when I took the deal, before I took it, the judge said, if you take this to trial, if you lose, we take you right away. You have no time to get yourself together at home. We take you right away. With this deal, I'll give you a month to get yourself together. So that basically my month will be over February 5th, a week from now. I have to turn myself in at Compton Courthouse. And her brother could be there. And, I just think it's just an insult, to injury, basically, to see this person, because I found out now he's expecting to have his first child. And like I was telling my son's mother, I wonder what would he do if he was in my situation that day. What would he do? Would he sit there and let me just do that to his child's mother, or would he defend her? And it's an unfortunate thing, but I reached out to a few community activists out here, and they're also going to look into it as well and help me, because one of the community activists asked me, did they know you were protecting a pregnant woman? I said yes, and she said right off the top that I'm going to be looking into it personally, because when they know someone is defending somebody, it should be looked at differently.
Right.
So if I would have took it to trial, we would have went with the defense of another, because that's what I was doing. I was defending someone else,
Right.
But if it was just the charge of me assaulting him, I would have taken it all the way to trial. But my lawyer, his biggest hangup was when the sister called 911. She said that I pulled out a knife and said I'm gonna kill everybody. And when they came out there, she said it again. So that could convince a jury that I'm probably guilty of saying that, and that was too risky for me, and that was too risky for my lawyer. That's what he's being honest with me. I give him credit for that, because you have some lawyers that'll be like, "Up, we're fine, we're good, let's go, let's take it all the way." And no, he was pretty honest and upfront with me, and I give him credit for that. And like I said, my kids were my ultimate factor of me making that decision to take that deal. But I know there's several other men and women who have out of pressure taken deals for stuff they didn't do because it sounds good. But I feel like I have to do it for my children.
Um, I just want to read some of the comments. Terren says, so sad praying for
Okay.
you. I hear someone attack me, and when I fall back, I will serve with assault papers, and my public defender
Yeah.
really told me to take a plea. So, I mean, this is happening. This is
Yeah.
happening. You know, and
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a lawyer for forgot who asked
somebody
that. It
said
was
it's
a lawyer. I hired a lawyer. Yeah, I hired a lawyer. The public defender. This is what got me with the public defender. And a lot of people don't see this from this side. Before a case starts, before court starts, the public defender and the DA are talking. They're laughing it up, talking about, oh, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I did this, I did that. And it baffled me because
Mhm.
the guys who are coming, who are locked up, because I fought my case, of course, from the outside, they don't see that. So the DA, the judge, public defender, they all know each other. They're laughing and yucking it up. And when the of course, when the inmate comes in, then they take it, then they're serious. And I would sit there and watch that and just be like, wow, a lot of this
Mhm.
stuff is predetermined. They know what they're going to do, and so I feel like the public defenders are not on your side because they're good friends with the DA. They're having lunch with these people. They're hanging out with these people on weekends. I heard like if you would have heard some of the conversations I heard between the DA, public defender, and officers, they just laughing and yucking it up because they're all friends. They're buddies. Everybody's trying to move up.
Mhm.
They're trying to get points to move up. So one person scratch this person back, you'll scratch theirs. And so that's why I hired somebody
Right.
from the outside. But I've heard people tell me that I shouldn't have done that because if I probably would have kept the DA would have known the other person. And, and when things like this are happening, you don't think about that. You know, you're just thinking about trying to get yourself out of the situation.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's just a
Right.
real
And
situation because
and Terren
I can get, you know,
Terren says, let's not forget the aftermath. This man now has two damn felonies.
yeah,
I couldn't get a good job for that bogus
and,
charge.
yeah, and now it's on record that I pulled out a knife and said I'm going to kill people, and it's on my record that I assaulted somebody. So the good thing is I have a career where I'm in the home improvement business that I don't have to worry about getting a 9 to 5. But even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I could not do that, and it's setting me back financially because I'm going to be out of work, and it's just a bad situation altogether. But yeah, it's a lot of our brothers and sisters going through it. You know, not just black, but everybody because they're not just doing this to us; they're doing it to everybody just to try to get points to move on up. But they're specifically doing it targeting us. You know,
Right. And I just want to ask you, like, you have to turn yourself in this coming Monday.
yeah.
Like, what is your mindset? Like, what are you feeling?
Um, I'm feeling. I would say angry, but I don't have the energy for it. I don't even have the energy to be angry.
Hmm.
Of course, I'm thinking about my kids every day, seeing them as much as possible. Um, I find that every day that goes by, I'm kind of wishy washy. Some days I'm good, some days I'm bad. But I
Understandable.
also, yeah, I also want to point out this as well. Now we were talking about this before,
Mm.
and me and my son's mother is not as tight as we were. We co-parent. We're fine in that aspect, but I want to tell a lot of our women out there, a lot of us men are put in certain bad situations because of one's actions. Now, before this incident started, I told her, stop, leave it alone, stop. And she didn't listen. And I find this so bad, especially in our community, that I've heard women say, well, you're not my daddy. Well, you're not this. It's like, I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to stop a situation. So
Right.
just as much as I'm upset at him, I'm really upset with her because it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation to be combative with another man while you're pregnant? How much sense does that make?
Hmm.
So I'm upset at both. I haven't really spoken to her because it's a lot to digest because
Right.
it's something to think about. Like if this was my wife, if we were still together, I might feel different about it. But
Right.
I'm just like I have 2 strikes and 2 felonies on my record behind somebody who didn't even care about our son's life because you didn't to fight. You didn't.
Right.
And for the record, I'm not going to crap on her. We all make mistakes. I understand that. But
Right.
prior to this, I always tell people, of course, you can say choose your mate. But with us men, we never truly know what we're getting ourselves into until we marry someone or until we have a baby by someone. Because
Right.
some women don't show their true colors right away. We don't know. This woman has disrespected me several times. She has literally spit in my face on 5 different occasions. I was telling you about that. And I did
Mm-hmm.
nothing to this woman. I did not put my hands on this woman. And I think that spitting in someone's face is one of the most
The
disrespectful things
most.
you can do to somebody. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is the same person I defended. She spit in my face before. She's done this before. So it's just like, it's just, I'm upset at both of them. And I have not spoken to her since. Well, I talked to her maybe twice since I found out that I was gonna turn myself in, but I haven't had the stomach to really even speak to her because it's like my life is on the line now because you decided it was a good idea to pick a fight. It was so petty over cleaning the room, and I was telling you to stop, let
Right.
it go, and you didn't want to. So it's just like that made it worse, you know, because I'm just like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because she still is the mother of my son,
Right.
But hopefully, when I get out, I know I will. My mind will be clearer. You know, I'll be able to think more rational, and it's
Right.
just like I have to tread lightly for the rest of my life, and it kind of puts me in a, I guess you could say, vulnerable situation because if someone comes up to me and starts something, now I got to be like, whoa, my hands got to go up, like, whoa, what can I do now?
Right.
I go to jail, what can I do? If somebody wants to start something, uh, you know, it puts me in a vulnerable state for the rest of my life.
Um, I mean, that's very important. I think it's an example. I mean, I'm still stuck on her spitting in your face. Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand why women get these good men and treat them like that. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
But we'll get, a man that treat them like dirt on the ground. Because I mean, a lot of guys, reach out to me because of the things I vlog about, and they
yeah,
tell me that I cook, I clean, I pay all the bills. You know what I mean? And
right.
I don't get any affection. I don't think she
Hmm.
loves me. She talks to me like I'm nothing. But these are
Right.
the things that aren't even talked about. The men that are being
Well,
mentally abused though. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
But us women will get a man that dog us out and love him to the end of the world. Love him to the end
yeah,
of the world. But will mistreat and not appreciate a good man. A good man.
absolutely. And it goes
And
both ways. I mean,
it
it goes
does.
both ways, but it doesn't. It's not talked about as
As much.
much where the men's
Right.
side.
Right.
We've been hearing dudes ain't this, dudes ain't that, and we've all heard those stories before. But I've told someone recently. I said, well, what do you call a woman who knows a guy is nothing, but still will lay down with the guy and still have a baby with him when you knew better? When
Right.
a lot of women know these men are married, oh, but let me keep the baby. What does that say about you?
Right.
Like a lot of women know this and still create. So
Right.
what do you think is going to happen with these situations? You know, I think everybody needs to take accountability for their actions, whether it's men or women, but especially
Absolutely.
women because you have the last say so. Men have no say so when it comes to kids. I'm going to be real with you. We really don't have any rights. When a child is born, if the man and the woman's broken up, guess who the baby's going to automatically without there being no question? You're going to the woman.
That's true.
And we're seeing more stories now where women are hurting kids, killing kids. And I've seen when a woman killed her 2 kids and women were putting, oh, rest in peace. Like, for what? If this was a man, you would demonize him. Throw him under the cell. He's going to burn in hell. But nobody was saying none of this about this woman killing these 2 innocent kids because she claimed that the man was abusive to her. Okay, if he's abusive to you, if anything, take him out. What does the kids got to do with it? So, it just makes no sense. And
It
there's no
doesn't.
awareness about that, I believe.
And no, I agree. I really agree. Like situations like this, it's so unfortunate because if this was me and my child's father, like I'm gonna be doing everything in my power. If I got to write letters to the
Yeah,
judge and to the DA and speak out
yeah,
about it and get people involved, that's what I have to do because at the end of the day, you are her children's father. Both of your
yeah,
kids are. You are though. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? That crazy brother, that crazy sister, the mom, all them, they are not, and I'm not labeling them crazy because of mental illness, but you are crazy when you sit up and you lie on someone that is messing with their
yeah,
livelihood. Something is wrong. Something's wrong that you're lying.
yeah,
Now you're just being
yeah,
a demon or something. Because how are they even gonna
yeah,
sleep at night knowing you're in jail and they lied on you? It's wrong and it's dead wrong. But I would be doing everything in my power to help you. Are they going to help her raise them kids? Are they going to take care of them? No, no. And it's
yeah,
not even about loyalty lying with you over her family. It's about right is right and wrong is wrong. Period, point
yeah.
blank. They were wrong. Her family was wrong. And I would have been like,
Mhm.
y'all ain't going to do this to my baby's dad. Y'all absolutely
Yeah.
ain't.
Now I give her
I would.
credit. I give her credit that she was going to go to trial and defend me, and
Uh-huh.
that in that standpoint, I give her credit for that. But my issue was a couple months after the original incident happened, her brother needed to take a driving test, and she let him use her car. And I told her, I said, if you would have lost the baby, would you have let him use your car? She said no. I said, so basically, and people were telling me this, siblings get into it, they eventually get over it. So I told her, basically, I just ruined my life for no reason because you and him are A1 now. You're good. So basically, I just did this for no reason. And, it just makes me more cautious about any woman I deal with because, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what people's real
Right.
intentions are. You know, people can use this against you. You
Absolutely.
know,
Absolutely. I mean, my thing is like this is not a little situation. This wasn't an
right,
argument and the brothers like FUB and they left out the house. You see what I'm saying? This ain't no small
right.
altercation. This situation affected your life. They
Yeah,
told a serious lie. I'm gonna tell you, I have spoke up and about people that do that, and I tell people, listen, that is so dangerous to lie to where it
yeah,
messes with someone's livelihood. It messes with somebody's life. That's not no little lie. That's not I stole a piece of candy from the store. You lied and said someone pulled out a
yeah,
knife. That is serious. I'm gonna be honest. I
right.
wouldn't have no rap. It wouldn't be no rap
Yeah,
because y'all know what? Y'all put my children's father in jail over a lie. I don't got no rap. Cause what am I supposed to
yeah.
tell
And
my
I told her
kids
that.
now? What am I
Yeah,
supposed
and
to
I
tell my
told her,
kids? You see what I'm saying? This ain't just
yeah,
affect her as your children's mother. This affects your kids. Because you're not going to get to
yeah,
see them and they're not going to get to see you. And it's already bad enough that this world tries to subtract the black man out of their kids' lives and out of the home as it is. And now we have our
yeah,
own people. And like I always say this, and people try to say, oh, Shalakemia, you're always talking down on black people. Or you're, listen, it's not about talking down on black people. It's about taking responsibility. Us black people, we're doing each other dirty. We're doing each other wrong.
yep,
But we will sit up here
yep,
and we will scream
yep,
racism and we'll scream racist and we'll talk about
yeah,
how the white man needs to treat us equal and how they need to treat us better. We're not even treating each other better. We're not even treating each other
yeah,
equal. Us black people are taking each other out. Period. That's what
yeah.
we're doing.
We're our biggest enemy. We are our
Right.
biggest enemies, and we know we hear our people say, this person's hating, 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 but we are our biggest haters. It's like I'm pretty sure you've been out and you'll see, somebody you with to be like, "Hey, girl, look at what she got on," or "Look at her." And it's just like, why does that bother you to the point that you need to talk about somebody? We don't really see white folks say, "Hey, look at that other white, look at them." Like they don't care. So what? What does it matter? You know. people live and live for other people, and it's very irritating because it's just like you can't have a piece of your own when you're worried about everybody else's, or you worry about how somebody else is looking or what they got. We're the only people that worry so much about materialism things, materialist
it,
stuff, and that's why we are,
it
you know.
it really bothers me because we are against each other. We're jealous of each other. We're envious of each other. We try to tear each other down. It's it's like
Kind of froze. See.
but I definitely hold on. Okay. Michael request to come back on. I don't know what happened. But I feel like if I feel like if us black people, come together, we will be so powerful. If we could be united, if black people could be
Okay.
united, we would be free. That's how I feel about it. I was saying, Michael, if black people could unite, we would be free. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
That is going to break us free. That's how I feel. And I feel like God put that in my spirit the other day because I was thinking about that. You know what I mean? But as long as we're separated
Hmm.
and at each other, we're not going to ever be free. We're not,
Absolutely.
you know? But, Mike, I just want you, to know that wherever you go, you can take God with you. And
Yep.
I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be praying over you. I know our viewers are going to be praying for you. You know what I mean? And it just hurts me that you have to go through this because you don't deserve this. But I want you to know that because
Yeah.
when you're in places like that, the enemy will try to mess with your head. But I need you to be strong and I need you to know that you do not deserve this. But there is going to be an amazing testimony that comes out of this situation. And I'm excited and I can't wait to come and see you speak somewhere, and speak out about
Yes.
this, because you're going to become an advocate for this now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you're going to travel and you're going to talk about this injustice. And
Absolutely.
I pray that you speaking out about this, things change because
Yes.
there's silent people out here going through what you're going through. They're not even talking about it. They're just rolling with
Mm.
it. They're rolling with
I was silent too. I was one. I just started talking about it maybe a week or two
it.
ago,
Okay.
where nobody really knew what was going on. I'm always the type of person to be like, you know what? I'll deal with it. Because, like I said, I've been on my own since the age of 13. I've been homeless several times. I've always gotten myself back up. So I've always told myself, I'll deal with it. I'm going through it. It's going to be fine. But with this situation, I said to myself, I need to let some people know what's going on.
Right.
People need to know what's going on. And something told
Absolutely.
me to do that, and I did do that for sure. And I want to thank everybody who's watching. People who
Right.
came, people who are still here. I'm looking at some of the comments. I just turned them on, and I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for watching, and thank you for the blessings and everything. I really appreciate you guys. You know,
Yeah.
and I will definitely, whenever I get out, do a follow up with you for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I wanna thank you, for coming on and speaking out.
Hmm.
And just that that my prayers are gonna be with you the whole time. The whole time.
Thank you, Maydell. I see Maydell watching my sis. She's my sister in Christ right there.
Okay.
Maydale, I see you.
And you know that we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna continue to spread the word, and everybody watching, you know, we're gonna spread the word, and we're going, you know, we're gonna get this out there more, you know, and
Absolutely.
it's just it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but you're gonna get
Yeah,
through it.
you know,
You're gonna get through it.
for sure,
You're gonna get
for
through it,
sure.
and I believe that. And you know, when me and you know, we first spoke about this whole thing, and you're telling me like, you know, you were in foster care at a young age, you
Yeah,
know, in group homes and bouncing place to place, and it's like
right.
you've overcome that, you know,
Hmm.
and stood up on your own 2 feet, and you know, made something of yourself, and it's like now you have to deal with this. Now you have to
Right.
deal with
Yeah.
this.
It's like one thing after another. You know, I find as I get older, it's like one major issue after another, but I always overcome it. You know, I used to take pride in not having a record. Like I said, I've never smoked or drank before. I don't have any tattoos, no piercings. I don't have nothing against it. But I always told myself at a young age that wasn't for me. I don't knock anybody who do what they do. You know, I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, you shouldn't do it because I don't do it. Like, you know, I'm not like that kind of person. What's good for you might not be good for me.
Right.
So, you know, I've always taken pride in that, and to have kind of like my character taken away from me from like this, you know, it's an insult. But I'm most definitely going to continue talking to because I talk to a lot of group home kids. You know, a lot of places I've been in, I go and talk to them and tell them, you're not going to be here forever. I used to think I
Right.
was going to be here forever. I lived in these rooms. I've been here, you know. So I still talk to them about it and everything, you know. And this is something else to share with them, you know, on their journey transitioning out as well. So I take everything with a grain of salt and look at it as I went through this for a reason,
Right.
you know, and it
Absolutely.
could be worse.
Absolutely. It's going to be, you know, it may seem and sound bad now, but whatever it is, God's going to get the glory out of it. You know, we always have to go through something, you know, for God
Hmm.
to birth our purpose out of us. And I think that,
Right.
um, you know, you speaking out about this situation, even speaking about being in foster care, you know,
Hmm.
you're going to help a lot of people. Gonna help a lot of
Absolutely.
people. Help a lot of people. I will. People are like, listen, we want to write Michael when he go to jail, okay? So I will provide that information when I get it. I will provide that to y'all so we can definitely support him and keep him encouraged. Why he's there, we're definitely going to do that. Because that's what we're supposed to
I
do.
appreciate that.
That's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to help each other and be compassionate, you know, and be there for each other and encourage each other. So, you know, Michael, thank you so much. Like you could have interviewed with
Thank
anybody,
you.
and you know, you interviewed
Yes,
with me, and I appreciate that. And you know, thank you, and you know, I'll be in touch,
for
and we're
sure.
praying for
Thank you. And I
you.
want to thank everybody for watching as well.
Yes,
Thank you
absolutely.
guys for sure.
Thank you, and
Okay, I'm
we'll
gonna
talk
go on and
soon.
watch the rest of your
We'll
show.
Okay, I'll touch base with you soon. Thank you.
Okay, for sure.
Okay,
Alrighty.
see ya.
All right.
Thank you everybody for tuning in with me today. I'm so glad that you know Michael chose my platform to speak out and get his story out there. We had some technical difficulties earlier with the show, but you know it all worked out, and I just thank God. Um, that's what I wanna do on this show. I want this platform to be, you know, for people to speak out about important stuff. It's not always about twerking and a sharing a fight, you know, and entertainment. Because I know people love to be entertained more than they like to be encouraged. That's not, you know, what this platform is about. It's about real talk and real people and real situations, you know, and I just thank God. for this platform. And I thank God for y'all for always tuning in. Like y'all, every week, y'all stay tuned in with me. And I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And, continue to pray for me that, I can continue to encourage and inspire and motivate, and help people, that have a story, and help people that have a purpose. So I just want to, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Soon as I get the information about Michael, I will put it on my public figure page so people can reach out to him and we can definitely flood him with love and encouragement and motivation. Because I know y'all know, I went to jail before, for a few days, and the enemy will try to get in your mind like never before. And we definitely have to keep him encouraged and shower him with love, at this difficult time. But thank y'all so much for tuning in with me every Monday. Every Monday I'm here at 6 p.m. We are going to do this. I'm going to have next week is going to be even, more amazing, and someone coming and speaking out about, their situation. So make sure y'all check out my new vlog that I that dropped this morning. It's called "I Would Have Married Him for Sex." It's powerful. It's powerful. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank each one of y'all, everybody that tuned in today. Blessings over you, blessings over your life, whatever you are battling right now. Just please know that you can get through with God. Please know that. I love y'all so much. I will see y'all throughout the week when I go live. But most importantly, I will see y'all here next Monday. We gonna talk about whoever wins the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about our hot topics, and then we're gonna get into our special guests like we do every week. God bless y'all, and I love y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Y'all always say I'm amazing. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Y'all support means more than y'all will ever know. I love y'all and good night.